Okay.
Anything you say.
Wait for the boss.
Okay,
We ready, Kim?
I think we're ready.
Okay. I call the Huntington County Board of Zoning Appeals November 25th to order. First item is roll call.
Dale Hawkins,
Present.
Steve Park,
Present.
Kevin DeKine,
Present.
Bob Boland,
Present.
Mike Thompson.
Present.
I think that I'm going to, skip around just a little bit because we have so many changes around. I guess I would like to adjust the agenda at this point first. Andy, do you want to address the Maple Solar?
Sure, happy to. My name is Andy Boxberger. I am the attorney for the county. As I think everybody's aware, about a month ago, Kim and her department rejected Maple Solar's permit on several grounds for their solar farm. They subsequently, as they have the right to do, appealed that decision. As soon as they appealed that, I've been working with Tim Oakes from Ice Miller, who's an expert in the field. Tim and I quickly determined that because the decision that is being appealed is Kim's decision to deny that permit, which we helped make that decision and helped her write that opinion, it would obviously be inappropriate for us then to represent this board in that appeal process. So Tim and I reached out to Steve as chairman and advised him that we thought we had a conflict and wouldn't be able to represent the board. And we recommended attorney to Steve, and I think that went a little further down the road than it should have, and I apologize that we didn't discuss with Steve the appropriate process under the rules to go ahead and formally engage an attorney, which, according to your rules, needs to be done and approved by the Plan Commission. And again, that's my fault for not discussing that with Steve and advising him of the process to go through. And I know that maybe some of the members of the board don't particularly agree with the selection of the attorney. That's not for me to decide, that's not for me to be involved in, but the appropriate step would be for this board to find their own counsel. I think that's really appropriate and important in this situation so that the process is handled properly for the benefit of my client, the county. I don't want to get this appealed either, and I want this, we want our opinion to hold and to make sure that you are represented properly. And so we have talked to the other members and the other parties involved and would ask you to continue the hearing for a later date. I think the next available meeting would be January 27th, correct, Kim?
Correct.
And
Yes.
so give you time to go ahead and work with the Plan Commission. I'm sure they would be happy to not go out and find an attorney for you if you guys could get together and pick your own attorney and recommend that to them. I'm sure that would probably be their preference, but I think that would be the most beneficial step, the best for my client, the county, the best for, in this particular circumstance, I'm not your attorney. I think that'd be the best for the board and be the best for whatever decision you ultimately make.
Has the attorney been discharged that was approached?
He has said, I'm not working on this at all until I hear further from anybody else. So, yeah, he is not working on this any further.
So it's, my understanding, like, section 4.4 says that legal counsel is appointed by the APC for the BZA and the APC. So we won't have legal counsel until
29th.
the 29th of,
Actually, be January 14th
14th.
would
Oh,
be the next Plan
That's the next Plan
Commission meeting.
Commission meeting.
We don't
so-
have time to advertise for the December Plan
Okay.
Commission meeting.
That I would probably, again, I'm not your counselor here, unfortunately, but I mean, it would seem appropriate maybe to extend to February then to have this hearing, make sure you have the appropriate time to get counsel you're comfortable with and formulate your plan. But, and we would be fine with that too, if extending to the February meeting is more appropriate.
Let me announce that date so that I don't have to send out new notices. Let me get to my calendar here. Let's see, so February would be, that would be February 24th would be the next BZA hearing for the continuance.
And when's the APC hearing?
That will be January 14th.
January 14th for APC, February 14th BZA.
February 24th for BZA at 6:30 PM, same place.
So that'd give you a little month and a half to work with an attorney.
So there was a continuation granted?
We're asking for it.
Tonight.
Tonight, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And I will add that, I think some of the reason we wanted to hurry and get an attorney working on the case is that we had 30 days to hear Maple Solar's appeal. We didn't have a plan commission meeting in that time period or a BZA meeting. So I think that was why we were in just a bit of a hurry to kind of get someone familiar with the case. And so just a little background there.
When did Maple Solar pull out of the meeting?
There was a correspondence between the attorney who we had recommended and thought was working towards with your body on Friday or Monday or Friday, and Tim, on behalf of the county, and myself agreed that a continuance would be appropriate. And again, it's
But
officially
you can't make that decision, correct?
correct.
So I'm going to voice this, that you're an attorney, and by you granting them an extension or having communication and saying you can have it, if I vote tonight and say no continuation and we vote tonight, will they have dead rights ground to sue the county?
Well, I didn't agree to grant anything. I just agreed we'd be okay with it if that's what
Well,
Yeah.
okay, you can't say I'd be okay with it, but I'm not saying it's okay. That's not plain. You can't say I would be okay with it. I can tell you that out there today, there is clear publication in this county that says we granted them a continuation. And I can tell you, I'm no lawyer, but I know for a fact, if we vote tonight and we don't give them the continuation, you just opened up the county for hell's fury of litigation, and they will clearly win. End of story. That's just a fact.
Well, the fact is that there was a communication had, and it's very common in hearings, court cases, all that. You get all the parties to agree that they're okay with it. You come to the judge, say, Judge, we've all agreed that we would like a continuance. That's what we're doing here. We're all
Is
saying
Maple Solar here tonight?
they're not, that I know of.
So would you agree with me that they're under the impression that you gave them a continuation, that they wouldn't even show up to see a vote?
They're not on the impression that I gave them a continuance.
But somebody did.
Yeah, well, somebody agreed that all the parties were open to it.
But why would they not show up if it wasn't granted?
If they were coming to see if it were going to be voted on and they wouldn't show up.
Well, in my experience in doing BZA hearings for decades, if all the parties involved agree that you can rely on the fact that and I think that the issue is that the person representing the BZA was not the person representing the BZA, because they weren't approved by the Plan Commission. And they, I think, were under the impression that they were representing the BZA, and that's where the disconnect is.
So the public, and I hopefully understand, the county illegitimately hired an attorney for the BZA, and that person helped tee up a continuation for Maple Solar. So they're not here, and the attorney that was allegedly or illegitimately hired by the county, that wasn't proper, right? Because it wasn't through the APC, it wasn't voted on. We don't hire our current attorney, which I would like to change that, which we'll talk later. But, I mean, basically, last month, the last BZA meeting, we're all told, hey, next month they're gonna be here. We've got an attorney, they got an attorney, everything's good. Yesterday, today, get phone calls. Oh, hey, by the way, the BZA hired another attorney. Well, we don't have that authority. And by the way, they got a continuation, which we never voted on. So I hope the public And the county understands that, like, this is very frustrating as a BZA board member.
The county didn't hire an attorney for the BZA.
No. And I didn't say that they hired them. I said that you would have your own counsel. You wouldn't have them as a counsel.
Yeah.
Well, actually, 30 days ago, we sat in this room and Kim, you and I had a discussion and I said, will we have legal representation at this meeting this very night? And you said, yes, we will. Then all of a sudden, it's a scurry to hurry up and hire some attorney. And I think you made a motion, Mike, that we thought we needed to get our own attorney and we'd like to have input. But at that time, Kim, you had advised us that they had already voted on an attorney and that was done. And I think that was done in March.
No, that was, I think you misunderstood what Mike was at. That was done by Plan Commission in March.
Correct.
For the year, and they voted for BZA, okay? That had nothing to do with the Maple Solar.
Correct.
Okay, I'm not following you.
So when Mike had made a motion to make sure that we have legal counsel and we were going to advise what attorney we would like for that, at that time, you said that wasn't an option because they had already they'd already voted and put an attorney in play. Now,
I don't recall saying it wasn't an option.
The county had hired Boxberger in January, February,
Right.
March, right?
Right.
And now we know that that's a conflict and we
I think
definitely understand that.
probably
That
would
makes
have to go
perfect
back
sense.
and
And
watch
I
the YouTube
advised
again.
Kim of that conflict probably after that. I wasn't at
Yeah.
that meeting, I don't have it. But
Yeah,
immediately
Bob
after, the-
Ehrman wasn't even, I don't even think mentioned at that point.
Right.
immediately after the appeal was filed, I reached out over a month ago or so to Kim and I said, hey,
Correct.
we have a conflict, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And then we recommended Bob. I didn't hire him, the county didn't hire him, we just recommended him to,
I believe a agreement was sent out.
I don't know anything about it.
Let me say my part here. And, that portion of it is my fault.
It's okay.
And at the time, I was under the understanding or thinking, that it was recommended, that we need to have somebody involved. And we did and do desperately.
So,
And so I reached out to Bob Ehrman, and we have worked with him many times in the past. He's a very, very reputable, very good attorney for this type of situation, so I felt very comfortable there. And for the fast pace at the time, that was before the continuation was wanting to happen even, that there was a lot of action happening behind the scenes, that we needed somebody to represent us. And so, rightly, wrongly, I was going in that direction and felt like with the direction from Ms. Boxberger and Kim and everybody, I thought we were good. And I'm not.
No,
It's
no.
my fault. I did.
No,
And-
you're
but,
totally fine.
You're good.
Totally
but
fine.
he was doing good things up until that time, and then we realized what the situation was, and he backed off and is out of the picture at this point. And so we have absolutely no legal representation for the BZA right now. And so I caution, how we approach and what we say in anything dealing with that attribute.
well, my biggest question is why did we not have an attorney present at the last meeting? If you're our county attorney, or for the BZA, the attorney from BZA, last meeting was a big meeting. We have never had attorney present at any BZA meeting since I've been appointed to BZA.
It says right in your rules and regulations, I'm on call to be here with if you'd like me here, I will be here. I wasn't asked to be here.
I wouldn't want you here at every meeting
Yeah.
I
because
don't have the
becomes,
budget for that.
it becomes very
Taxpayers
expensive,
don't want to pay
right?
him to be at every
I think I
meeting.
agree with Steve. There are times that
Sure.
and this is one of those times. So,
Right.
so
I'm just
yeah,
saying, I
definitely
wasn't asked to be here. I'm
Yeah.
more than willing to be here if I'm asked.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have anything else, Mike?
I'm good for now.
So Kim, can we make a motion that collectively as a BZA that we hire, can we change the rules, vote on a change of rules to where we could hire our own attorney?
That's an Andy question. I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, your rules and regulations are, if you look at the last page, signed by you. So you can amend your rules and regulations.
Right.
I would want to confirm under the statute that that's permissible. I think that it is, but I don't know off the top of my head, but I can confirm that
Correct.
for sure.
Correct. And the biggest concern for me is that attorneys are attorneys, right? There are good ones and there are bad ones. What do you call the doctor who graduates last in his class? He's still a doctor. But the thing is with me is I don't think Mr. Ehrman I don't think he's bad at his job. But I personally feel that when I'm going to be represented, I would like to have someone represented that I vetted myself, that I know who they are, and that I can have a dialogue with them and let them defend me or advise me the best it will. And so I would make a motion that we amend the rules and we collectively as a board find our own attorney.
I'd second that.
Is that feasible?
I will confirm that after this meeting. I can't answer that off the top of my head under the statute.
Okay.
But as I said, your rules and regulations, I specifically thought this may come up, and apologize, it's been 24 hours since I knew this
Sure,
was happening too.
absolutely.
And so, but I did
But
look
you're
at,
not speaking as our counsel then?
correct. Well,
Well, no,
I'm speaking as your counsel when it comes to your
Yes.
ability to amend your rules and regulations. I
Yeah.
can't speak up regarding Maple Solar.
Right.
And so the last page of that is signed and approved by you. So the fact that they're made and approved by this board would lead me to believe they also have the ability to amend them.
Okay.
Correct.
So we have a motion and a second. Should we amend the motion to contingent upon?
Contingent on
council?
confirmation of, that statutory is allowed.
Right, so that,
Yeah,
that's okay.
I make a motion to change the rules as they are currently read to allow the BZA to hire their own attorney at their discretion, accepting upon that those, it's allowed.
Yep, okay. Any other discussion? Okay. All in favor by aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Okay. Good, thank you. I guess in that regard, how long would it take to be able to get those amendments or the change
Tomorrow.
officially? Tomorrow? Okay. Okay, good deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be appropriate and beneficial to this entire process if you don't have to wait for another plan commission meeting.
And if we, again, talking out loud, I'm going off agenda totally, but if that were the case, then can BZA call a special meeting?
Yes,
And,
48 hours notice, special meeting to hire a council.
okay,
Gives us plenty of time.
yeah, right.
Plenty of time.
Okay, so we can work on that off to the side, so, okay. Okay, anything else? from
No, I
your-
just, I don't know if it's the appropriate time to rule on the continuance. I mean,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
looking for
Yep.
a motion for
I'll
that.
call for a motion for continuance.
Motion for a continuance.
Okay, have a
for
motion.
next, BZA meeting.
That motion is second,
I'll second that.
okay. Any other discussion? All in favor by aye?
Uh,
Opposed, same sign, okay.
Which will be February 24th.
No, it could be earlier than
Are we
that.
setting
could
the
it not?
date or not?
it'd be January 27th.
Yeah, it-
Well, okay, so I guess we went to the February meeting because January, okay,
Oh.
we're changing our rules of, yes, so January 27th. Back to January 27th at 6:30 for the BZA meeting for the continuance for Maple
my-
Solar and,
For my birthday.
yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy your
Yeah.
birthday, Dale. We'll bring cupcakes.
okay.
If I could,
Yeah.
I know this has been confusing, and, as Mike brought up, I think that, I just want to make it clear that we had nothing to do with hiring the attorney. We recommended somebody. I apologize to
Yeah.
Steve. We should have talked more about the process. As you mentioned, it was moving quickly. But I just want the commissioners and Kim to be protected. I want you guys to get your own counsel. I just want this done properly. I think it's for the best of the county that this is handled the appropriate way.
But you did get an email that was specifically in regards to Mike Thompson and myself, and then you went to Steve, and then the attorney process started there, correct?
No,
No, you didn't get that email
No, I did get an email or a letter,
with my name in it?
in the letter, yes.
21 times in the letter?
Yeah, I didn't write the letter, it was from somebody
Okay.
else, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure because I asked if you got the letter and then seemed it was evasive there, and I'm just asking because if you got a letter with my name in it 21 times, and Mike, I didn't count yours, but then you went to Steve to get an attorney.
That's not what happened. I went to Steve a month ago or so and told him that he needed to get his own attorney. I've got a letter with your name in it. I can't send it to Steve because at that point I can't reach out to an opposing side directly.
Okay.
So I told Steve a month ago or so that I couldn't be your attorney.
Right, well, we knew that because Kim, we talked about it
Right.
when Kim was here a month ago. But until the last 48 hours, I've heard nothing.
Well, there was nothing until that point, really.
Okay.
But I'm confused. Honestly, I'm confused on the question. I did get a letter, but I'm in that context as somebody else's attorney. I can't send that to you. That would be completely inappropriate. I'm not representing you at that point. If I'm on the opposing counsel, I
Okay.
can't reach out to the other side directly. That's extremely inappropriate.
Okay, so you forwarded the letter over to
Kim,
Kim.
I actually haven't gotten a letter. You
Okay.
meant to.
Yeah.
You
So Kim
called
didn't get
me.
it. What did
Okay.
you do with it once you got it? Where did you send it?
I sent it to Kim. I thought I sent it to Kim.
No, I
Okay,
haven't gotten
yeah.
it. You probably meant to.
Oh,
and,
she didn't
Yeah.
get it.
You know.
When did you get the letter?
I believe it was
Yes.
Monday.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yesterday. Yeah, I think so.
Yesterday.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
Friday or
That's
Monday.
when you called me.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking that, that letter got sent out last Thursday, I
Yeah.
think was the date I saw the email.
What was the date on that?
I believe Thursday.
I think I got it on Friday or Monday. But again, there's no set of circumstances where I would have sent it to anybody on this board. That would be very inappropriate. I am prohibited from contacting an opposing side directly as an attorney. And for that matter, for the Maple Solar matter, you are the opposing side. My client is Kim, so I deal with Kim. I cannot send you communications like that. They would need to come from you, from your attorney to you, or directly to you from the other side.
Yeah.
The letter is dated November 20th, so last Thursday.
Okay? I think I got it on Friday then.
Which letter are you referring to, just for the minutes?
It's a letter from Barnes and Thornburg.
You're talking about them wanting to appeal Maple Solar? You're talking about that letter?
No,
So they're asking that 2 board members recuse themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did not receive that, so, okay. Yeah, I wasn't aware until yesterday.
Kevin, have you been caught up to speed on this?
Not very well.
Yeah.
some,
Slowly
some.
catching up.
Okay,
Some
so
listening.
let me, so what had happened is the Maple Solar has sent out, their attorney sent a letter to them saying that Mike and I should recuse ourselves. We should recuse ourselves from being on the board. And then the letter went around somewhere somehow, and then we got it to the attorney that we were initially going to hire, right? I actually had a conversation with that attorney and just said, "What is going on?" We're kind of just getting deep in the ditch here, but that's because at the last meeting we wanted to have good legal representation, and so the cart kind of got ahead of the horse, and it's not that major of a deal. But I did want to touch on that Maple wants both Mike and I to recuse ourselves, and so I before we vote on giving them a continuance, I just want you to know that when and if we talk about the appeal process for Maple Solar, I can only speak for myself, and Mike, maybe you agree and maybe you don't, but I will not be voting on solar. I'm not going to say yes or no to solar. The vote from my perspective is, did you follow the process? were errors made along the way. And there clearly were. Clearly were a lot of sheer madness, quite frankly. And so that's what I'm voting on. I'm not voting on if I like solar, if I don't like solar, any of those things, except for I just want to make sure that we at least touch on it, is that when I was appointed to the board, I wanted to do it ethically, morally, and above board. And so I basically have gone through and I'm looking at the rules for conflict of interest, and it's in black and white. A conflict of interest is defined as this: a matter in which a commission member has a direct or indirect financial interest in an agenda item. Whether solar comes to Huntington County or not, I have no financial gain, I have no financial loss, for the record, in any way possible, right? B, section B says, in a matter in which an immediate member of a commission member's family has a direct, indirect financial interest in an agenda item. I have no blood family in this entire county. I have no married family in this entire county. I don't have a cousin, I don't have an aunt, an uncle, a grandma, a brother, nothing. So when it says that my family member, I want to be assured and on the record, I have no family in this entire county that is blood related to me or by marriage in any way. Section C, a matter in which a commission member may or has the potential to derive profit from an agenda item. I have absolutely no way to derive any profit from any renewable energies of any kind. And so I just want that to say that the conflict with me is not there. I have no conflict whatsoever. Maple Solar is not even going to be within miles upon miles upon miles within my home, my business. Doesn't affect me whatsoever. If it goes in, it goes in. If it doesn't, but at the end of the day, I have no financial gain, no family members, and according to the rules of procedure, I have zero conflict of interest.
And these rules can be found, section 8.3, conflict of interest, A through C, page 10 and 11 of the rule book.
Excuse me, I got to stop.
Yep, we'll give you a second, just a minute.
No.
Now, because I want to ask a question to the audience.
It's not open to the public
We
at this
can't, Greg,
point.
we can't do public right now. You'll have your time in a minute, we can't do
Yeah.
public.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Oh, I'm,
The only one I can hear is Bob.
okay,
yep.
Yoakum, did you catch
Make sure
that?
you're talking very close up on the microphones.
okay.
Make sure you
Sorry.
get right on it.
Sorry, Greg.
So with that, I just want to make sure that not only the public, but my chair member boards and everyone else out there, I have exactly, and I have zero to gain or lose when it comes to renewable energies of any kind.
Okay. In that regard, and you can help on this regard, I think, there is also a state requirement. Is that correct?
There are statutory obligations as well, but I want to be really careful right here. You need to get your own attorney and discuss those issues with them. I think that it's a little muddied, and I want to make sure it's important that when it comes to Maple Solar, I'm here for Kim's department. We want you to uphold our decision to deny the permit. That's what they're appealing. We're going to argue that you should uphold it. And I'm not going to, I don't think it's appropriate to advise, especially kind of the feeling in the room, I should say, on any matter related to conflict or any matter related to how you're going to make your decisions. I think that's detrimental to my client. I think that's detrimental to your decision-making process. So yes, there is a statutory requirement too. I think you should hire a counsel. I think you should talk to him about your opinions and concerns, and you should get advice from whoever that he or she is.
Absolutely. I make a motion to continue the Maple Solar.
Thought we already
I thought we
did-
did.
we already did that.
We had a motion and a second, but I don't think you voted.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in discussion.
Gotcha. Yep, I apologize.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, not all those in favor by aye? Aye. Opposed, same sign? Okay.
Now, where are we?
I didn't catch what the vote was.
Oh, all favorable.
Okay,
Unanimous.
okay, thank you.
There's none.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, that being said, we're trying to get back to the agenda a little bit. There's also another amendment to the agenda, docket item, let's see, where is it at? BZA-25-27 as also done a continuance. They're not here, and so that needs to be taken off and it will be a future date. So that being said, we only have one docket item tonight. And we'll ask if there is a conflict of interest with this docket item from anybody.
Rob, can you hear back there? You can hear everybody? Okay, feel free to pull your.
I can hear you too.
Okay, I mean, if you want to pull your chair up closer, that's fine.
Into the microphone.
Okay. All right, so, go ahead, Steve, sorry. Just want to make sure.
And then we're at the there's no conflict of interest with anybody? Okay. Moving on, consideration of minutes from October 28th, 2025 that were in the packet.
Move to approve is received.
I second that.
Okay, motion second, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor by aye? Aye. Opposed, same sign? Okay. Kim, you have administrative issue items, does that carry over from last meeting?
I'm sorry, say that again, Steve?
On the agenda, you have administrative items, was that carried over from last meeting maybe?
Oh, let me take a look, I'm sorry, I don't have the agenda right in front of me. I think that they just list that on there. If we had items, we would have listed them out, so,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
No administrative items,
Okay.
we're good.
No old business, new business. The remaining docket item is docket BZA-25-026, application filed by Corey and Tiffany Snids, Woody's Towing, requesting a variance of use to allow a towing business with a bullpen storage and an office on property zoned R8, high-density residential, located at 465 North Broadway, Huntington, Indiana. Is the applicant here to speak for? Yeah, please come forward, give your name, address.
I'm Corey Schnitz. This is my wife Tiffany, 465 North Broadway Street.
Okay. And I think you're wanting to convert the facility into a tow.
Yeah, as you can
officer.
see, I think there's two properties on the business side of it. We were just wanting to turn them into one. Then there was 4 properties on the back side. We wanted to variance it all into one property. So we'd just be 2 instead of 6.
Talking about these two properties, right?
Yeah,
Right, Corey?
yeah. Yep.
Is that the old A&I building next to
It's
you?
the Pulley Kellen building.
Oh, that's Blake.
Yeah, so, and this is all of it right here. Well, no, it goes like this. So we were just wanting to make this one whole big property and then this one property.
Are you on the east side of the road?
Yeah, I'm on the side, the county side.
So that's on the county, not, so city's on the other side,
Yes,
correct? Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and any other question? I think it's been
So
in
pretty
this
much
capacity since
Yeah.
1961, so.
Yeah.
So pretty much we got the permit, we've already started the bullpen. It's about 113 feet by 90. It's gonna be a metal fence, so nobody can see in.
So you'll obstruct that view
Yes.
from Broadway, right?
Yeah, and I talked to the main guy, he lives right behind us, and he said he didn't care if a fence even went up. He'd just glad to see something going on. He was a real nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of manufacturing on that particular roadway anyway.
Yep, got Broadway Motors on that side, CNC's over here.
Body
So-
shop.
Yeah, yep, it's all the same stuff we'll be doing, so.
Any other questions from anybody? Okay. Okay, if not, you may be seated, and we'll maybe holler back at you for some questions.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anybody here in the public that would like to speak for or against this docket item? Okay, not seeing any, we'll close it to the public. Kim, do you have a report?
Yeah, this property is zoned R8. That's the reason that they need the variance of use. I think it's very appropriate for this property, given the fact that there's an existing manufacturing building on the property, and it's not reasonable to think that that will ever be used as residential. We did the same thing with Chad Pearson, just the block down, pretty much the exact same request, just slightly different. So staff recommends approval of this request.
Is there any other discussion from board members, questions?
I just want to say thank you for what you guys do. So it's a need, and I know you guys do a really good job. I know some of your employees, so thanks for that, right? I hope
Yeah,
you,
we were kind of forced to move when my dad died 4 months ago.
I know, I hope you guys,
Circumstances, we had to.
I hope you guys come out of the gate swinging, and I hope the community supports you the way they should, and you guys are doing a heck of a good job, so.
If there's no other comments, we'll go ahead to the finding of facts.
The approval will or will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community because
Will not. Staff adopts the applicant's findings which state property with current buildings have been used as a warehouse dating back to 1961. Buildings will continue to be used as a warehouse for towed vehicles. There will be no change to the community in regard to public health, safety, morals, or general welfare.
All those in favor by aye? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, number 2.
the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will or will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner because
It will not be in an adverse effect on any neighboring properties because it's currently in it's doing the job of its current state, and it's in a heavily commercial area, especially directly across the street. So there's no adverse effect on any neighboring property.
Okay, all those in favor by aye? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Number 3.
the need for the variance arises from some condition peculiar to the property involved because
Does arise. Staff adopts the applicant's finding which states property location is between 2 commercial businesses, a car dealership to the north and a paint auto body repair shop business to the south, and it would be difficult to develop as a high-density residential property.
All those in favor by aye? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Number 4.
the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will constitute an unnecessary hardship if applied to the property for which the variance is sought because
Will be very difficult to convert residential use. Without approval of this variance, the property would be useless, cannot be used for residential purposes.
Okay, all those in favor by aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Number 5.
the approval does not interfere substantially with the comprehensive plan because
Does not. While the comprehensive plan does seem to show the future land use for this property as residential, it was not taken into account what the property was currently being used for when the CP was updated. It also did not take into account the type of building that was already in use on the property. The CP does show the future land use for a large surrounding area as manufacturing and GB. This use will not interfere with the CP.
All those in favor by aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, somebody say something? All the findings of facts are in the affirmative, therefore we are, have the ability to make a motion for this docket
Move to-
item.
Move to approve docket BZA 25-026.
I second that.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor by aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, you're good. Okay, Kim, do they need to do anything else from your end, or their next steps or anything?
No, you've got your fence permit, so at this point, you're ready to start. Yeah, you're good with us, so if you do any kind of a remodel inside, you would need a building permit possibly, so just come see me if you decide to do a remodel. You're good. Just bring your green sign by sometime, you know, when you get a chance. Okay, thank you. All right, you're good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any items of discussion from board members?
At the last meeting, I brought up looking into if we could get a different notification sign. So currently, the signs are potentially, I think they're a little small and they're also green. They kind of blend into the background. So I was kind of curious if we could get something maybe a little bigger, like a standard yard sign, and maybe white or something a little neon that kind of draws attention to it.
Do we have an abundance of those in stock right now?
We do. We
Okay,
ordered new ones
so,
about a year ago.
so we could say after we're done with every one of those, maybe we could come back and have a color
Right.
change.
It was too late for the 2026 budget, so I would have to request more from council to do that. I'm not opposed to that, whatever.
Let's
whatever.
wait till we're out of those,
Yeah,
yeah. Or getting close.
yeah. I would say we probably got 25 left. So, I mean, I think we've ordered signs twice in my 25 years, so. We reused them,
Okay,
so.
we probably won't be around to see those colors change, Mike.
It's a shame.
Any other discussion items from the board? Okay. At this time, I'll open it up for comments from the community. Do we have anybody signed in?
We do?
You can still
Yeah,
sign
I'll
in there.
sign in. Our first one is Laureen White.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. George Beknifsky.
You're gonna take 10 now, aren't you?
When you could then state your name and your address, please.
George Baknivsky, 2616 East 950 North, Roanoke. I have two comments relating to Maple Solar. I wrote down so I want to make sure. I was involved with the rewriting of the original, not the original, of rewriting of the solar ordinance. And I spent almost a year digging into that original ordinance. And it was written under pressure from the State House, because they said you need to have a solar ordinance, and our county commissioners went ahead and did one. And I don't think anybody, when that ordinance was written, would have thought that we would be looking at hundreds of acres of solar. They might have thought maybe 20 acres or whatever. So what we have here with Maple Solar coming in and trying to put things under that old ordinance, I think is equivalent to somebody that's building a 100,000 square foot manufacturing facility and saying that since there was no manufacturing ordinance, I can just build it according to residential standards. And that's, Maple Solar is taking advantage of this and has no desire to be a good neighbor in Huntington County. That's item one. Second item, our executive director, Kim, has the authority at her discretion to constitute what a change to the original submission is. My profession, I was an architect. I own a 80-person architectural engineering firm. We worked all over the U.S. and Europe, and I have dealt with hundreds of Kims, and we've had submittals rejected because there was a spelling error, because that was at her discretion. There was nothing else wrong with the plans. but they said, you have a spelling error, you need to resubmit. And there was no real fight about it, we just resubmitted. This appeal for continuance by Maple Syrup is an act of bullying this county. I know for a fact that there are many solar companies that, once they get approved also, or will attempt to make changes to the project and saying, hey, the project is underway. If we don't get this change, it's going to cost us millions of dollars. And I can see this already coming. It's already written by the way that they're doing it. So if Maple Solar is so righteous, there should be no issues with them reapplying under the new ordinance. And that would be my recommendation for you guys. So, it's my 2 cents.
Thank you, George. I do want to make a comment. That was exactly what we need to hear from citizens of Huntington County. So if you've elected to get up and speak, one thing I have to be very clear on is that it's not a conversation if you like or hate solar. That is not the conversation for this board. It comes down to, would you like the board to support Kim in her decision or to support Maple Solar in their appeal? And if you can go on either side, that is fine with us, but what we have to be clear about is that we don't want to talk about if we love or hate solar. That's more of a APC board, correct?
Yeah, and technically, we're not talking about Maple Solar.
Correct. Correct.
So. Okay. Kim?
I'm sorry,
No,
what?
somebody, next.
Oh, Don Freiberger.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Chris Parker? Good. Gary Yant? I think if I'm saying that right. And Jill Yant? Good. Marsha Polson? Donald Polson? Fred Weimer?
I agree with what George said.
Okay, you would need to say that up for the recording, thank you.
My name is Fred Weimer, 7515 North, 400 West, Markle, Indiana. Being to a lot of these meetings and knowing how much George has put into this, and his qualifications, what he's actually done for a living, speaks volumes to how things should be addressed, how things are handled. And what I have heard over the year is that Maple Solar, he brought up not a good neighbor, was giving multiple chances to make steps towards the project proceeding and was not followed through with properly. So that's why I say I agree with what George said. It's not just because I haven't been around and he said something nice or what I agree with. It's because I have been paying attention. And this is something that, if there was a plan originally to do the project, what happened that the plan didn't go forward? They made steps, but they never followed through. And then at the last minute, they wanted to try to do something. So that's where I'm concerned, and that's why I support George.
Thanks, Fred.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Darwin Gardy?
Darwin Gardy, 3760 North, 300 East, Huntington. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I wish you all a Thanksgiving and a Christmas coming up, since our meeting's not going to be before that. And what I want to bring up, I agree with what George and what Fred had to say also, 100%. I feel this Maple project, they've had their opportunity. They asked over back in 2024, now they're looking at the year of 2026 to continue another extension on this project that should have been done. They had a contract in the beginning to fulfill it, and that was not filled at the time. Looking at their contracts and stuff, there's a lot of areas in there that are questionable on what they're doing. I could bring up different issues on health and everything, and you've heard it from us, and hopefully you've been studying and seeing what these projects involve, the Maple project. And I feel because they have not fulfilled their time that they had asked for before, it just shows that their accountability is not good. As I mentioned at the beginning, I wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Here we are, Thanksgiving. I have family coming, in fact, family here now in Thanksgiving. I see my family a couple of times a year. It's important enough for me to be here to state and remind you again of these projects. And we, the people, are here, but the ones who are going to do this development and stuff, they are not representative. If it was that important to them and the community here was that important to them, they would be here. We, the people, are here. We, the people, elected people, that's either appointed you or elected you to your positions. And again, we ask you to look at all these areas, how these projects have affected the area and how these companies are, what they're standing. So I have questions on their accountability because they have not fulfilled their contracts in the beginning, and they do not feel it's important enough to be here and represent their product. Thank you.
Thanks, Darwin.
Rob Jones?
I'm good.
John Michaels?
My name is John Michaels. I live at 3833 North Range Line Road. I thought that was just a sign-in sheet to come in here. I didn't know it was to speak. When you asked me to speak, so I see we have an audience here and we have a live stream on YouTube. Is that right? YouTube? All right. Well, would it be all right for me to use that audience to promote my businesses? Could I do
No.
like a commercial while I'm here?
No.
No? That's not a part of
No.
BZA meetings, right? Okay. Just wanted to ask that. It's in the record now, right? Thank you.
Mike Skeens?
I'm good, and everybody here is very eloquently said what they should say. I agree with you, if somebody botched the system, they should be rewarded with a contract.
I'm sorry, if you need to speak, we need to come up here. We can hear you and understand you.
I'm good.
Okay. Braxton Kraft?
I'm good.
And Hank Miller?
Hank Miller, 5570 North 300 West. Obviously, everybody knows I attend a lot of meetings, different parts of the government, and I'm thoroughly confused what happened here tonight. So I'm not only here as a citizen reporter, but also a taxpayer and a human being. I'm going to address what the public just witnessed. Maple Solar did not attend this meeting because they were informed that a continuation had already been granted. That's what I understand. The problem is simple. The board never voted on this continuation. There is no record, no motion, no approval, yet someone, somewhere, told a multi-million-dollar developer they didn't need to show up. That's a serious procedural failure. Second, the attorney who was acting on behalf of this board was never properly hired, never approved by the APC, and had no legal authority to speak or negotiate for the BZA. That illegitimate representation played a direct role in the confusion tonight. Maple Solar believed they were continued because someone outside proper channels communicated it. Third, very troubling. A letter asking 2 BZA members to recuse themselves was received days ago, yet board members were not notified until the 11th hour. That kind of selective communication undermines trust and invites litigation, and I think it's coming. Fourth, the county attorney openly stated that voting tonight without Maple Solar present could expose the county legal consequences. So I have to ask, how much more money are Huntington County taxpayers expected to pay for dysfunction that keeps happening inside our own government? Finally, the people deserve transparency. Who communicated the continuation, who authorized attorneys who wasn't legally our attorney,
And how will this board make sure no unauthorized decisions are ever communicated again? The public is watching, and we truly deserve straight answers.
Yeah,
What's the first question?
'cause I think we addressed most of those issues.
Did anybody figure out who communicated the continuation? I was pretty confused. So whoever figured it, raise your hand who,
No,
if
no,
they figured out
no.
who.
You
continuation
don't
came
talk
from.
to the audience,
Right.
you're talking to us. But, what's the question?
Well, if. Can you restate for the record of who communicated the continuation?
Well, the attorneys, for Maple Solar, our Kim's attorney in the county, Boxberger, and Bob Edelman, it was the attorney that we involved, not technically correct, but it was involved under the pretense that we thought everything was fine. And that's where that all came together.
So the other stuff was just information for you guys to ponder. Hopefully we look at the video. But the fourth one is why should the taxpayers have to pay for all this dysfunction? I mean, it wasn't our fault, actually.
Well, I guess there is confusion, yes. And part of the issue that in my opinion, is that this is a very unusual situation where the department itself is a plaintiff, so to speak, and then we're another group, and then there's another group. And Kim is normally our person of contact that helps organize and communicates a lot of that information under the typical situation. And we don't have that situation, and we don't have an attorney for advisement to be able to help us do that in that regard. So.
And the last question is, how can we prevent this from happening again? I truly believe this is going to be very expensive for the county.
So, thank you for the question, Tank. So, at the last BZA meeting, I explicitly went to Rule 4.4 on page 4 of our book, and it states that we have the ability to have legal counsel, but currently, as you know, we didn't have the ability to vote for that with the APC, but we have never had legal counsel present. So, some meetings are 10 minutes, it's out and easy. This is obviously a much bigger, deeper issue. But I think the board, as we move forward on finding legal counsel, I think it might be important. I think it's important and probably cheaper for the taxpayer to have legal representation here at more meetings and do it the right way and the legal way than to save a few bucks and then run into an issue like we just did.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, anything more for me? I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. I'm like this all the time.
Was there anybody else on the?
Nope, that's the last one.
Is there anybody else here that would like to speak that didn't sign up? Give you the opportunity. Okay, not hearing any, we'll close it to the community at this point. Director's report,
I do not have anything.
any other?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay,
Second.
got a motion second, all in favor? Aye.